pleaded guilty to the charges brought by this court, and it is now my duty to pass sentence. You are an habitual criminal who accepts arrest as an occupational hazard, and presumably accepts imprisonment in the same casual manner. We therefore feel constrained to commit you to the maximum term allowed for these offences. You will go to prison for 5 years.
Here, Fletch.
Naff off, I'm thinking.
Thinking?
Yeah, thinking. I realise, Warren, that you and the rest of those nerds thinking is an alien pastime, but to some of us, more endowed with a bit of grey matter where it matters, namely up here, preserve our identity and sanity in this place by thinking.
But what are you thinking?
Well, at the moment I'm thinking, why doesn't this bloke Warren naff off and leave me alone?
Look, Fletch, I realise that you're a man of
Intellect?
intellect, yes, and
erudition?
oh, that and all, Fletch, if you say so. But that's why I wanted to have a word, see. I got this letter.
Oh, yes. Ah, from a woman, I would assess.
That's right. How can you tell?
Well, it's in the handwriting. Yes, female handwriting. And judging by the stationery and the perfume, a woman of little sophistication or class.
That's right, it's from the wife.
Oh, I didn't mean to infer anything.
No, Fletch, you're a clever bloke. But that's why I needed your help, really.
Oh, I see. Another one. My counsel, is it? Advice to the lovelorn. You want me to assess the situation and compose an appropriate response?
No, it's much simpler than that. I just want you to read it to me.
Now, this letter of Warren's, it's very, very typical. It's your classic wives' letter after you've been inside 8 months to a year, that sort of period. You see, wives make all these marital vows, but you've got to be around to make sure they do love, honour and obey, don't you?
Yeah. Right.
True.
You see, after a while, a wife gets restless urges, and having got restless, chances are they weaken and gets naughty.
I'll kill her. I'll throttle her.
Yes, that is one solution, although what we're looking for here is something a little bit more constructive. Besides, you're in here and she's in Bolton.
It's visiting day next week.
Yes, we know. But if you was to strangle your wife on visiting day, there's a good chance you'll lose half your emission.
I'm just saying.
Oh, he's so impulsive.
I'm just saying.
Oh, leave it off, Warren. Just leave it to Fletch. He knows, doesn't he?
Thank you, Tolly. Now, where was I?
Oh, just get into the naughty bit.
Ah, yes. So having got naughty, chances are she gets guilty. So in my reply that I've written out here, I've sought to achieve subtlety with strength. An obvious display of affection, but lying beneath it, a hint of menace. My darling, I realise these are difficult times for you. Here we are, men without women, and you are women without men, with all your attendant frustrations. Nice phrase, that, isn't it?
Oh, well chosen.
Got that out of the Reader's Digest. I realise, my love, that it is a lot to ask you to wait for me. But I will be most upset, dearest one, if I hear about you having a nibble on something you shouldn't. In other words, dear heart, I have friends on the outside who have friends who have friends. And any word of hanky-panky will be followed by swift and merciless retribution. I hope the weather is nice and you are feeling well within yourself. Yours, etc., blah, blah, blah.
Oh, subtlety with strength. Oh, yes.
Very good, Fletch. See, Warren? I told you, Fletch knows.
My wife's sister lives in Sidcup, and sometimes we stay there. Oh, popping for a cuppa and been to the coast. Anyhow, one time we was there, and while my wife was upstairs powdering her nose prior to going to see Paint Your Wagon by the Sidcup Operatic, her sister touched me.
Where?
In the kitchen. She got real heated like. Had me up against the Arga.
Yeah. Surprised you didn't get too much heated yourself up against the Arga, like.
She said she'd always fancied me. She knew it was wrong on account of being the wife's sister and all, but she could no longer control her true feelings. I said to her, now listen, Gwendolyn. That was her name, you see. Listen, Gwendolyn, that's no way to behave. It's not right, it's not decent, and what happened must never happen again.
But nothing did happen.
All you did was give her a lecture.
That was an hour later after we getting out of bed.
What is the point you're trying to make here, Einstein? Blimey, you're on a different time scale to the rest of us. His head's 20 minutes slow. Now look, I've made copies of these letters. There's one for each of you. All you have to do is write it out in your own handwriting. Don't worry, Warren. I'll do one for you for a small fee, given you can't write. You just got to remember to put your wife's name at the top. My beloved Iris, my darling Norma, my dearest Trevor. And make sure to post them up sharpish so they get to read these before they comes up on visiting day, so they can be duly humble and apprehensive.
There's no evidence that my Iris is strayed from the straight and narrow.
You are? Post it to her anyway. After all, a stitch in time saves a hole in the trousers.
All right, I'll post it then.
Yeah, best not leave things to the last minute. Gentlemen, haven't we forgotten something?
Oh, yes. There's fair. Come on, lads. Cough up.
So, you got no worries on that score then, Fletch? You know, marriage like?
Nah. But then, I've been married a little bit longer than you, lad, haven't I? And she knows the score.
Doesn't she get upset? You keep going inside all the time.
I don't keep going inside all the time.
Well, you are fairly consistent. I mean, and she's got the house and 3 kids to look after. I don't know how she does it.
Well, I'm not saying it ain't difficult, am I? I mean, a few weeks ago, she had to build a new coal bunker. That's a terrible job for a woman, that is.
Oh, you mean she had to mix all the cement and all that?
Oh, no, that was all right. Her mother came round and did that.
Oh.
Come on now then, lads. Well, Fletcher, have you employed yourself usefully this evening?
Just giving the lads the benefit of my experience, Mr. Barraclough.
Oh, I've heard that your opinion's well sought after in this prison. Mr. Gillespie, the welfare officer, well, he was saying he's running out of customers.
Yeah, well, welfare officers, a bit like the Padre, aren't they? Not to be trusted.
Well, I think you've been a bit harsh, Fletcher, on a very well-meaning body of men and women.
I ain't saying they ain't well-intentioned, but, well, you know, the lads, they bring me their problems. They know I speak their language. By the way, how's things with your old lady?
What? Oh, well, difficult. You know, Fletcher, she's been a bit better since you and I had that little chat. You know, things have been a bit easier, but she's not an easy woman to get on with, my wife.
No, so I've heard. Not still the postman, is it?
Oh, no, heaven forbid. Oh, he's in the sorting office in Carlisle now.
Oh, sorted him out, did they?
Pardon?
Nothing. I shouldn't joke at your expense.
Oh, no. Well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to...
Yeah, I know. Time I turned in.
I hate this part of the job, you know. Shutting men up. Caging them in, Fletcher.
Yeah, it is a shame, isn't it? Just when the good telly's starting and all. God, all we ever to get to see is the blaming news. And nationwide. God, that lot of interest that is to us, locked up in here.
No, I never got used to bolting those doors. I think of you in that little cell, and I think of me going on to my house, to my home, to my house, to my wife, and she's waiting for me.
What's wrong, Mr. Barraclough?
I sometimes wish I was in here with you lot.
Fletch, would you do the honours?
What, read this, you mean? Yeah, all right. The wife?
Yeah, no perfume anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, Warren. It's very distinctive. Should think it kills 99% of all known germs.
Oh, don't you like it? Do you think I should tell her to change it?
Oh, no, my son. You're safe as long as she keeps from other men, as long as she keeps wearing this. Now, let's see. My dear Bunny. Bunny?
Yes, Bunny Warren. Bunny Warren.
Oh, Bunny Warren. I got your letter, for which many thanks. It's wonderful that already prison has taught you how to write and spell proper. Who knows what you may come out... What's this word? Oh, qualified as. It was the KW that threw me. Now, Bunny, about this other thing. I don't know where you got these doubts from. I spend my nights watching the box on which you've placed your picture, which I cut out of the Manchester Evening News. It is the one of you resisting arrest, but I have cut off the two policemen. I've left the Alsatian on as I know how fond you are of animals. I did go out Sunday, I admit, but only to see your mother, who has had to go into Salford again with her feet. How's she normally going then? On her hands and knees?
No. What she means is she had to go back to the chiropodist like. She's always had these feet, you see.
Oh, has she? What, the same ones? Anyhow, never mind the expense. I am coming up visiting day to put your mind at rest. I will get Saturday morning off at the laundry. I miss you and I think of you when you were at home and you used to take my...
What? You used to what?
Well, this last bit's a bit intimate one. I'm not sure I should really read this out aloud, like, in front of me. I mean, it's personal, isn't it?
What is it? What'd she say?
Well, how can I put it? Well, the gist of it is she missed your... No. Put it another way, which you obviously did. Well, let's just say she regrets you not being at home providing for her.
Oh, good. Anything else?
Well, anything else would be a bit of an anticlimax, wouldn't it? No. She just says, I wish you were here. Oh, well, I must stop and get on my lover. Oh, must stop and get on my lover. See you Saturday, Elaine.
Oh, yes, she's a good girl, my Elaine. No problems there. What do you think, Fletch?
Well, it's a nice letter, Warren. Heartfelt, you can tell. And she's coming up Saturday, isn't she?
Aye, and so is Eslop's missus, all the way from Kent. And Tolly's wife. You're a clever lad, Fletch.
Yeah, well.
Your old lady coming, is she?
Yeah, she'll be here.
You had a letter like.
No, I ain't actually, but yeah, she'll be here.
I think lukewarm fella's coming up as well.
Is he now? See, Lukewarm's got a bit of a different problem from the rest of you, hasn't he? I mean, it's Trevor that's the insecure one there, isn't it? Because, there's 600 men in this prison. So while you're all worried about what your old ladies are getting up to on the outside, Trevor's worried about what Lukewarm's getting up to on the inside.
Oh, morning, Mr. Mackay. See you, Fletch. And thanks again, mate.
Thanks. What was all that about?
Just a bit of advice. Matters of the art, Mr. Mackay, between me and him.
Tell me, Fletcher, is this the office of Slade Prison's Miss Lonely Hearts Club?
That's why you're here then, is it? Problems of that nature?
I do not have problems of that nature.
Oh, come on, Mr. Mackay. All screws, beg your pardon, all prison officers have problems of that nature. I mean, matrimonially speaking, you and me are very similar. Because while we're in here, we can't be too sure what our old ladies are getting up to, can we? There's no difference.
Well, there is a major difference, Fletcher. Your wives are the wives of the criminal classes, with all their inherent traits of slovenliness and promiscuity. Whereas our wives are the wives of uniformed men, used to a life of service and duty, decency and moral fibre. My house reflects my wife.
Big, is it?
Spotless. And when I get home of an evening, my uniform for the next day has been pressed and ironed and is gleaming with its razor-sharp creases, and the shirt crisply laundered.
Oh, yeah. And so what's that proof? That your old lady's having it away with the bloke from the dry cleaners?
I refuse to rise to your bait. It's obvious that your cynicism from some bitter personal experience of your own.
Oh, no. There's nothing wrong with my marriage. No doubts about my Isabel. My wife and I get on very well, thank you.
You've spent half your married life in prison, man.
Yeah, well, absence makes the heart grow fonder in our case. I bet your lady could do with a break from all that ironing and cleaning.
My wife has never had any other desire than to be by my side. Before prison service, you know, Fletcher, I was in the army. I was drill sergeant in the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders.
I would never have guessed that.
And even though I was posted to some far-flung places, Marie would always be by my side.
I bet she was. Brassing up, polishing, blancoing. A right female Batman. I'll tell you, I can just see you coming off the parade ground of an evening. Marie, stand by your ironing board.
17 years of domestic contentment.
Mr. Mackay, drill sergeant, was it?
That's right, Fletcher. Drill sergeant.
Do everything by numbers, did you?
I'm not rising to your bait, Fletcher, and it is naive of you to assume that I would.
Even with your old ladies, numbers, is it? Marie, I'm about to make passionate love to you. Stand by your bed. Wait for it. Wait for it. Knickers down, 2, 3.
I'll have you, Fletcher.
Further this place, could it?
I've had to come from London. Had to be at Euston by 8, and there wasn't a buffet on the train.
Oh, never is there? And if there is, it's only yesterday's sausage rolls.
Oh, but you had to come from Bolton. It's taken me all morning to get here. Change to Manchester, change to Carlisle. At least when you exchange pays, I only had a bus ride.
Oh, it's us that suffers, Chuck. Us that has to manage with a family and no money coming in and no man about the house.
Who thinks you've got a man about the house? I've come all the way from Kent because of his suspicious mind. I've had this letter.
Me and all.
Me too.
Yeah, but what on earth, eh? Listen to this. I realise, my love, that it's a lot to ask you to wait for me, but I will be upset, dearest one, if I hear about you having a nibble of something you shouldn't.
Yeah. Hang on a minute. Look at that.
Oh, hang on a sec.
They're the same, they're cheeky devils.
You know what they've done, don't you? Just you wait till I get my hands on them.
There's my girl, there she is.
I can see my Lynn.
Look at the little darlings. Don't you want to come and have a look, Fretch?
I'll see her soon enough. Know what she looks like, don't I?
Come on now then, lads. Come on, sit down. Let's have some order.
Did the trick then, Fletch?
Yeah, well,
Kent's a long way, you know.
Oh, Trevor's come all the way from Southport. He's had to close the shop, you know. He's a watch repairer.
I did a watch repairers once.
yeah. And now you're doing time for it. Did you get that, Mr. Barraclough?
Oh, yes. Very funny, Fletcher. Very funny. It's nice to see you all in such good spirits.
I'm sure I can smell Elaine's perfume.
No. That'll be the sheep dip from the prison farm, that'll be. Ingrid,
Hello, Dad.
where's your mother? I said, where's your mother?
She couldn't come, Dad.
What's wrong? She's not ill, is she?
No, she's
She's what?
found another man, Dad.
What else you say, Mr. Barraclough?
I have the welfare officer's report here, sir. Mr. Gillespie, he feels that psychologically Fletcher is overcompensating for the traumatic shock of...
Don't quote all that university claptrap at me. Young Gillespie, what does he know? These young lads, they come here with no experience of life. How can they have? Only 2 minutes ago, they were in rag parades, blowing clarinets and throwing flower bombs at old ladies.
I think you're being a bit harsh, sir, on a very well-meaning body of men and women. Mr. Gillespie, he's done work in the field, sir.
In Welwyn Garden City? Hardly a walk on the wild side. What is it? Compassionate parole?
Just 48 hours to help him sort out his problems. They have been married 24 years.
All right, wheel him in then. Right now, Fletcher, we all know you've had this domestic, well, I suppose, crisis isn't too harsh a word for it.
My wife has scarpered. Yes, I think crisis is a very good word.
She hasn't actually left you yet, Fletcher.
She's about to.
So what do we know about the other man?
Well, from what I listed for my eldest, he's a heating engineer. See, we were having this new central heating installed, so obviously he's been round the place quite a bit. Younger man, bit of patter. From what I hear, a new Ford Capri with wing mirrors in mustard yellow.
So a new younger man, is it?
Yeah, with wing mirrors. Bound to turn a woman's head.
Couldn't just be an infatuation.
Not according to my eldest Ingrid, it's not. And she knows the score, my girl. She says they're planning a new life together in Hemel Hempstead.
Oh, I know Hemel Hempstead. Passed through it on the train. It's nice there.
Yes. Well, now, the welfare officer seems to feel that you could benefit from some compassionate parole.
Parole? What? Get out like?
Not so much as get out, as go out for 48 hours only. You'll report to your local police, and then afterwards, the weekend is your own.
Oh, well. No, I'm trying. Get a decent Sunday dinner, I suppose.
Well, if that's your attitude, Fletcher.
No, Governor, I'm sorry. I apologise. My flippancy was simply masking my deep wounds. If you see fit, sir, I shall go. For the sake of my marriage and, well, the faith you put in me, I shall go. I wonder if Spurs are playing at home. Look, I've checked in. You know where I live. You don't have to walk me home as well.
Oh, I don't mind, Fletch. Breath of fresh air.
But I'm going home to see my old lady. It's personal. Matters of a personal nature. That's the reason for my parole.
It's the personal nature that concerns me, Fletch. I want you to greet your wife with sympathy and understanding. Don't want you to force her head through the mangle.
Hello, Dad.
All right, love. Your mother in, is she?
Here she is.
You know Sergeant Norris, don't you?
Met him in court.
Only stopping a minute, love.
Isabel,
Norman?
I got this compassionate parole, like.
Yeah, so they told us.
Yeah, well,
There's no need for you to stay, Sergeant Norris. Thank you.
I just thought that...
Oh, there's no need for you to worry on that score, is there? So, if you'll excuse us. Hello, Norman.
hello, my love.
It worked then.
Like a flaming charm.
I knew it would. Worked in Mason. I knew it would again.
Like a flaming charm. She's found another man, Dad.
Ingrid, go and fetch your dad's slippers and put a kettle on.
Yeah, and don't be too quick about it either. Your mother and I have got a lot to make up for.
It's just like when I was a kid. Give me some money and I'll go to the pictures and all.
Yeah, it's worth it. Hold on. That's how your brother was born. Puddle off.
You're going to have to move, I'm afraid, love.
Yeah, I suppose. Shouldn't take too long to get to Euston on a Sunday.
Did Sergeant Norris say he'd drive you there? Oh, look, I've got you some apples and a banana and some tangerines. What a price they are. Still, you've got to have your fruit. Good for your complexion. I should go and have a shave, love, because Sergeant Norris will be here soon.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Oh, it's been lovely having you here, Norman.
Oh, it's done me the power of good, Isabel, I can tell you. Seeing you and seeing the kids and the colour telly, home cooking, Spurs winning at home, soft lavatory paper.
Well, it'll all be here when you come out. You just got to bide your time, love.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing, girl. I ain't going back inside, not after this stretch.
Well, you've said that before.
I mean it this time. I've had my fill of porridge. God, it's full of kids these days. Talk about generation gap. Father figure I am. And seeing you and seeing the kids and realising I'm missing them growing up and, well, all the things this weekend's given me. I'll tell you one thing. The best things in life ain't free, but the best thing in life is being free.
Oh, Norman, you say such lovely things. What made you think of that?
I didn't. Randolph Scott just said it before you came in.
Are you all right, Fletch?
You what?
No, Fletch. Listen, me and the lads, we just wanted to say we're sorry. I mean, I know we had a bit of a laugh about it last week, but, well, you know. Look, the fact that you're not so clever after all just makes you a bit more human like the rest of us.
Oh, yeah? Let me ask you one thing, Bunny. What'd you do this weekend, like?
What? Oh, well,
I'll tell you, shall I? Same thing you did last weekend. You had a cold shower, you cleaned your shoes, you washed your vest, you had your dinner, you had another cold shower, and then you spent the evening lying on your bunk picking your nose. Some of us was in the pub. Some of us was eating roast beef. Or watching Spurs play at home. Or having a sing-song with their friends and relatives. Or lying on a crisp, big bed with their big, crisp old lady. Have a banana.
All right, let's have you. Come on.
You can see the difference in Fletcher. I think Mr. Venables sending him home, well, it's made him realise what he's been missing. And I suppose it suddenly dawned on him that he's been on a mugs game all these years.
Oh, yes. He's had the cockiness knocked out of him. We've seen the last of his leery insolence. You can't beat the system, Mr. Barraclough.